Today we're going to be talking about finding equivalent fractions. Now we've already talked about the definition of an equivalent fraction, and now we're going to actually put into action how we can find if two fractions are equal or equivalent. Now the first thing I need to do is look at my two fractions. I've got 3/4 and I have 9/12. My box in the middle indicates that I'm either looking to go greater than, less than, or equal to. So, by just looking at them, I might not know if they are equivalent or equal. So the thing that I need to do first then is look at my denominators. By looking at my denominators, I see a 4 and I see a 12. The first thing I need to do after doing that is looking at the smaller of the two denominators. This one's my smaller denominator between 4 and 12. Using either my math facts or using a multiplication table, I need to see if I can multiply 4 to equal 12. Now, it just so happens that you can, and using my math facts, I'm going to say that actually 4 times 3 gives me 12. Easy enough, easy peasy. 4 times 3 gives me a product of 12. But if I do something to the denominator of a fraction, I also need to do something to the numerator. If I don't, then it's kind of like playing favorites, and we don't want to do that. So I've already multiplied. Now I need to do the same thing on top of my fraction. So this same equation times 3, I now need to do in the numerator. 3 times 3. Notice how this is the same multiplication equation, just done once to the denominator and then to the numerator. Now, when I go through and I multiply that, I get an answer of 3 times 3 using my math facts I know is 9. So it's actually the same thing. If you look at that, if I multiply the denominator by 3 and the numerator by 3, I move in the same distance. So that gives me a product of 9/12, which says that these two fractions are equivalent. Now, if you were in a situation where when you multiplied the 4 times the 3, it gave you 12, but then when you did, let's say this top number is actually a 4, or actually that's a bad answer, let's say a 2, and you multiply the 2 by a 3, that would not be 9, so you would know that they're not equivalent. But in this case, when I went through and multiplied the same number by the numerator and the same number by the denominator, I got the same fraction over here, making these two equivalent fractions.